This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.
Yes, good morning. So, we'll start with geography, and within that, we'll start with climatology. Fine. So, first syllabus within this, we need to study about atmosphere, temperature, humidity and precipitation, atmospheric circulation, cyclones, anticyclones, world climate, Indian climate. Fine. So, world climate, Indian climate. For this, guys, apart from Indian climate, remaining 11th standard NCERT book, Fundamentals of Physical Geography is there, right? In that, climate portions are there that you can read every day. Once the class is done, whatever is taught in the class, same things you can see in that book. Fine. So, yes. Because to begin with, first, everyone, see, there is a story which tells us that initially entire universe was together in a small tiny ball like structure where there was infinite temperature and infinite pressure. Fine. But in geography, there is a confusing one which normally, if you don't get clarified in the initial classes, the confusion will start throughout. That is, in this room, if I get 1,000 students, and I'll make them to stand, will the pressure increase or will the pressure decrease? Increases. Temperature increases. Did you heat from outside or did you bring more particles together? We just brought more particles together. Did we heat from outside? No. Are you getting the point? So remember, whenever heat increases because particles are coming closer, whenever heat decreases because particles are moving away, let me say out of 1,000, now only 10 people will be left. Initially high temperature, now less number of people. Can I say low temperature? So can I say heating and cooling or temperature increase and temperature decrease is happening because of number of particles rather than heating externally. Are you getting the point? That is called as adiabatic heating or cooling. I'll just ask you a simple thing. Now, closer to the earth, there is more air particles. As I move above, there is less air particles. You tell me, if some air try to move from A to B, A it is compressed, B it is less. You tell me what is going to happen. If air goes here, will it expand or will it contract? Expand. So here it will be hot. Do you all agree? When it goes above and expands, will it become cool? Yes. So the meaning of this is, as you are moving above, if particles are less, what is going to happen? It will expand and cool. But I'll give you another thing. Now I am heating the water. Water became hot. So hot water, will it expand or will it contract? Expand. Can I say, hey, air is there? Let us say air is there. If I heat the air, what is going to happen? It expands. Will it contract? No, it will expand. Have you seen balloons, air balloons, where people will be standing and fire will be there? Balloon keeps moving above. Have you seen? How does it work? What happens there? Can you tell? What is the principle? Okay. Okay, so you're telling it's like your no, not this gas balloon that you use. That is true. The density is less, so it is going above. But what I'm asking you is, have you seen it can carry people also along with it? Hot air balloons. What is the principle? What happens there? Hot air expand. So you see, good. So what is going to happen? You have something like this, correct? Right? They'll have fire here. They will heat the air. Hot air, what will happen? Expands. Expands means pressure will be there, so it goes up. Hot air is heated, expands, goes up. Like that continuously, because of the heat, it starts going up. You reduce the heat, what is going to happen? Starts coming down. Are you getting the point? I'm just trying to tell you, if you heat the air, air will rise. If you bring more air particles together, what is going to happen? Temperature increases. So I'll use all this. I'll apply in the atmosphere and all. But first, you should be aware about two things. One, all the particles in the universe is together. You tell me, will that have high temperature or will that have low temperature? High temperature. Then they say that after 13 or before 13.7 billion years, right, there was a blast. One fine day there was a blast. We don't know why the blast occurred. It's like, I break coconut. When I break coconut, it breaks into pieces. Similarly, this also broke into pieces. Now when it broke into pieces, can I say each one will be of different sizes? Will it be uniform or will it be different? Different. Second, you tell me, will it expand? Expand? Expansion means, is it cooling or is it heating? Cooling. So UPSC asked, initially as soon as there was a Big Bang theory, that is a Big Bang where there was a blast, there was sudden cooling of the universe. Do you all agree with me? There was expansion of the universe. Do you all agree? Yes. Third, you tell me, When we break something, coconut or something, when it breaks, initially can I say it starts moving? The pieces, will they rotate little bit? You tell me. Because of the friction, it stops rotating after a point. In the universe there is no friction. If there is no friction, what is going to happen? It keeps on rotating. So even today it is rotating. Clear? Two things are happening. Universe is expanding. Second, it is still rotating. Clear? Now when we are all rotating based on the size, right, what is going to happen? There is a bigger particle, there are some small particles, and there is gases. So can I say all the smaller particles will be attracted towards the bigger particle? Will the size increase or will the size decrease? It's not visible down, ma'am. No, I'm asking. It's not visible. Can I write above? Yeah. So now, can you see here? All the particles are coming together. If all the particles come together, will the heat increase or will it decrease? Increases. So can I say all the solid particles came together, heat increased. Fine. Solid, if heat is increased drastically, if the heat increases, will it become liquid? Yes or no? If you heat solid, will it become liquid? So can I say everything became liquid? Some gases are still present. Are you getting the point? Is the liquid stationary or is it rotating? Rotating. How is it rotating? Is it rotating from north to south or is it rotating from east to west? East to west or west to east, doesn't matter, right? So you see, now I'll tell you, is it rotating like this or is it rotating like this? Rotating like this. Do you all agree with me? Now I have a point. Have you heard about this centripetal centrifugal forces? So don't worry, I have asked, have you heard? I did not ask, do you remember? Right. So the point is, you see, now if I do like this, right, if I slow, will it come towards my hand? Yes, this is what centripetal, it is coming towards me, it moves away, right? So it moves away completely. If the speed increases, what do we call? Centrifugal. Can I say there is a balance? Yes. But remember, when earth is moving like this, when liquid is moving like this, what is going to happen? The liquid has a tendency to move away. Do you all agree? Yes. Where will it move away? Near equatorial region or near poles region? If at all it is going like this, liquid will move near the poles. If it is doing like this, liquid will move near the equator. So guys, can you please tell me now, what is there with me in the earth? You have liquid. How is the liquid moving? Correct? When it is moving like this, can I say all the liquids which are here will have a tendency to move this side? Tendency to move this side. So what is going to happen? Will it expand in this region? If it expands near the equator, what will happen near the poles? Compresses. Yes. So if one side it is expanding, another side what is going to happen? Compression. Compression means like this. Fine. Earth is not in circular form. Earth is in geoid shape. What is geo? Earth. Id, shape. Earth shape. How is earth shape? Bulged near the equator, flat near the poles. Are you understanding why you got geoid shape of the earth? Do you understand? Now I have a simple question. liquid, when it was moving, I'll make you write, guys. I'll dictate notes, don't worry, properly you'll write. Just understand the concept. When you have the liquid, right, all the heavier particles started coming towards the center. All the lighter particles started moving towards the periphery. Are you getting the point? What happened? Heavier came towards the center, lighter went to the periphery. So how did it look? At the center, what will you have? Denser one. At the periphery, what will you have? Lighter one. This is how Earth is divided into crust, mantle and core. So where is the heavier one present? At the center. You see here? At the center, heavier one is present. So let me say it is your nickel and iron. Fine, this is the heaviest one. Where is it present? At the center. Now, you tell me, I have two paths. This is near equator. This is near poles. Can you tell me which is nearer to the center and which is farther to the center? Core is, poles are nearest. Equator is far. Good. Now, this is a magnet. This is a piece of iron. Closer, farther. Which one will be attracted more? Closer. Center of the earth is heavier. Gravitational force depends upon the heavier weight. Who will be having more effect of gravitation? Will it be poles or will it be near equator? Poles. I want to escape Earth's gravity. I want to run out of the Earth's gravity. You tell me where it will be easy for me. Will it be near equator or will it be near poles? Equator. So you tell me, rockets launching, if you want to do, you have to escape Earth's gravitational force. So should you be closer to the equator or should you be closer to the poles? Equator. So most of the rocket launching stations are present closer to equator. Why? Because gravitational force of Earth is less near equator. It is more near poles. What is the reason behind this? Geoid shape of the Earth. Are you getting the point? See, each one is related, guys. If you try to understand, geography is concept. If you just by heart, it is fact. It is up to you to think how you need to proceed with the subject. Clear? People feel subject difficult or easy according to the way they try to study. Fine. Everyone reads two things. One is a fact. What is a fact? Geoid shape of the earth is a fact. Second is what? Poles are having high gravitational force compared to equator. You have to by heart all this. Is it easy to by heart or is it easy to derive? Even if you are confused in the exam, you can draw and check what is happening. Correct? So, when you go back home after the class, don't read language. I'm not interested in the language. Language will vary from one book to another book, but concept remains same. So you have to go back home and draw these things again to recollect. Write in your own language. Absolutely fine. Clear? Now, can you write? Heading, you write shape of the earth. Shape of the earth. Below this, from the Big Bang theory, it is believed that, see, no one knows, it is a story, that's why we say it is believed. Fine. it is believed that initially the entire universe, entire universe was a tiny ball, with infinite temperature and pressure. Full stop. Before 13.7 billion years ago, in geography, don't remember, okay, you're writing in geography also, but don't remember years or numbers much, because most of it will be wrong, because these are all assumptions, right? So they won't give you what they will make. 13.7, they will write 137, 1.37, those variations they do and make a mistake. Clear? 13.7 billion years ago, comma, there was a blast due to unknown reasons, and after the blast there was expansion of the universe, and sudden cooling of the universe. Underline those two words, expansion and sudden cooling. Full stop. Even today, universe is expanding and there is continuous cooling. Next point. During the formation of stars and planets, comma, the heavier objects attracted lighter matter, matter, lighter matter, and increased in size, around these, increased in size, around these there was primitive atmosphere. What is primitive? Initial atmosphere. Primitive atmosphere, mostly made up of hydrogen and helium. Is what is sun made up of today? Hydrogen and helium. So initially entire atmosphere was also made up of what? Hydrogen and helium, right? Hydrogen and helium. Full stop. Next paragraph. During this process, it is believed that Earth was in molten liquid form. Molten, molten, molten liquid form, form, molten liquid form. And there was segregation of particles. Full stop. Denser particles moved, moved towards the center, towards the center, and lighter towards the periphery. So high density particles, high density particles were present, were present at the center of the earth. First, next point. During this, the molten liquid, the molten liquid became geoid, 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 where there was bulge, there was bulge near the equator, and poles were flat, and poles were flat. Clear? Now, because of the geoid shape, because of the geoid shape, gravitational force is less near the equator and it is more near the poles, near the poles. Okay, same thing I'll ask in a different language. You should tell whether it is right or wrong. Okay, gravitational force is directly proportional to latitudes. Is it yes or no? Gravitational force is directly proportional to latitudes. Yes or no? Okay, you tell me. Equator means 0 degree latitude, poles means 90 degree latitude, equator is less, poles is more. That means as I move from equator to poles, what is happening? Gravitational force is increasing. That means can I say it is directly proportional to? See, now the point is, if I teach you the concept and I leave, tomorrow UPSC will ask you gravitational force is directly proportional to latitudes. You'll feel I have not seen this. I want you to derive. Even in the exam, if you are not able to do, at least see what is the line that you are aware. Fine. That is gravitational force is directly proportional to latitudes. Directly proportional to latitudes. Yeah. Yes, you draw the way you want to understand. You get more questions on basics, guys, than advanced. Fine? Done? Good. So now, what is left? Can I say can I? Good. Anything with respect to this you will be able to tell? Where is India's rocket launching station? Sriharikota. Where is it? Andhra Pradesh. Which lake is there nearby? Pulikat Lake, right? Sriharikota, which is closer to Tamil Nadu, Andhra border. Once UPSC asked, Pulikat Lake belongs to Andhra Pradesh only. It belongs to both Andhra and Tamil Nadu. Earlier, where was the rocket launching station? Tumba. Where was it? Near Tirunanthapuram, like Tamil Nadu, Kerala region. Why? Closer to equator. Europe is far. Yes. Can Europe launch satellites from poles? No. So they used to come to South America. South America closer to equator. And they launch their rocket launching stations or rocket from that region. Have you brought Atlas? South America, French Guiana. Mobile also you just check. South America, French Guiana. Above. Can you check near to equator? Is it French Guiana? Can you see? Above. South America. Above Brazil, some small 3 countries are there. Can you see in that French Guiana is there? European rocket launching station is present in this region. Is it closer to equator? Yes. Interview, this question was asked this year, guys. They asked why rocket launching stations are closer to equator. Anyways.
This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.